All right. Ooh, I had to take a couple of minutes break and I thought I would come on here real quick. You know, there are some people in this world that are really sick and they truly have delusions of grandeur. I'm talking about real delusions, real delusions. And all they can do is project. When I think about how sick and perverted these people are, how utterly sick and perverted they are, as to literally try to underhandedly, and I don't even believe that they really have any government backing, because I think that if the government, I believe that if that I can't get into that. I'm not even going to get into the system. I'm not, but everybody has a right of freedom from that system. Everybody has the right of freedom from that system. Everybody. And I understand that the system wants to operate, the system wants cash cows, the system wants. Doesn't mean that people ever have to bow down or succumb to the system. But what I want to talk about is people, the agents of that system, and the agents of that system that want to overthrow the government or create their own private sector, to where they're taking and creating modern day slaves. Now, obviously, it would be very corrupt for our government to cast spells upon the world so that they can always have prisoners in their system. Do I believe that they would do that? Oh, I would hope not. I would really hope that the government would not do that just so that they. I don't even think that people in jail. In fact, I believe that people I guess it would depend. You know what I'm saying? Like, it costs a lot of money to run a prison, but I guess maybe it is some kind of profit on that. I have no idea. I'm not even going to begin to talk about that. What I want to talk about is these people out in social media who made a decision to spend the last 10, 12, 13 years of your life in a folly ass fantasy where you're going to take a woman and some children, do what you want to do with them, force them to be who you want them to be, or are you going to threaten to kill them? Uh, and have her in a situation where this maniac is recording sex tapes so that you and a group of perverted perverts can sit and look at these sex tapes, and then you really gonna hold somebody as a slave or a hostage, a high priestess witch, no doubt, a high priestess witch, and you gonna hold her in slavery, and you gonna hold her down using the Bible, which you've already gotten the breakdown of the Bible. At this point, your Bible and Jesus is more of a harm. Hell, you'd have did better trying to use witchcraft to do that, which is why they tried to. However, if a person is not a willing participant, you literally are so delusional that you try to take somebody as a slave, basically. These black people, this black man, he's going to make somebody a slave. He's going to make somebody's life miserable. He's going to control somebody. You were always in a delusion. And literally everything that you did and said that was underhanded, all of the weirdness and conversations with all these different females on the internet. Yes. Y'all, I'm just gonna, but I'm dead ass right now. Let me make a little joke of this shit because it is a joke. Yes, she's gonna do whatever it is. Whatever it is, she's gonna bow to you. She's gonna bend over and get on her knees, and she's gonna bow to you. And she's gonna do whatever it is that you tell her to do. And you have the ultimate power over. Like, can you imagine and for a man to be that damn retarded to believe in that? And then when you, goodness gracious. And then when you realize that it's not the truth over and over again, you're going to come to YouTube and cry about it in social media while trying to project to other people and say that somebody else is crying. Tears of a Clown is the show that he set up. He's talking about himself. He's talking about himself, pretty much essentially. I'm going to monitor her. I'm going to see what she say. And if she tell any truth about me, nothing that you do is a threat at this point. Seriously, I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. It's a community crime. It's a crime against someone in your community. But it's literally, the story is so complicated that if I were to go to any government agency or police to sit down and try to explain it to them, they would literally have to look at the whole book of evidence going back to 2012 or 2013. They would literally have to, so the case would take at least a year or two to even go through the system. If there would be a cop or a detective or a police station that is not corrupt, that is not corrupt. I'm going to conjure the devil. No, not the devil. I'm going to conjure everything. Revelations. Deuteronomy. I'm going to, you're going to do what I tell you to do. Did you know that I was grown? I don't care. You're going to do what I say. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Boy, if you don't go take your ass somewhere and sit down somewhere and be quiet, you have already made a complete fool of yourself. It's never going to work. To be honest with you, I wouldn't even have to conjure. I'd be conjuring like 12 demons at the same time and 12 witches and 12 powers at the same time. Really, the only one I would need to conjure would be Belial. Are you kidding me? I never forget, years ago, I was live and I was talking about this very same thing. And one of the trolls in the group chat said, yes, and I believe it was him. Yes, we're going to turn all of the light skinned people into slaves. So now you're dealing with hatred and colorism. So you and these 5 people, you're gonna turn all light-skinned black people into your slaves, and you're gonna do this with what? The Seals of Solomon? You're gonna do this with a photograph of Black Jesus? Hey, I've got a photograph of Black Jesus. Uh, that's not gonna help you. Anytime it becomes an obsession to control somebody like that, you have a mental problem. What you need to do is just fling your butt back to the future. Black, not to the future, but to the past. And if that's what you want to do with your life, go back. But that reality has been destroyed in the past. All we have of that reality is memorabilia. And there's a lot of groups that are running around here literally destroying and erasing the history of slavery. The crazy part about it is that every race has went through some kind of slavery, not just blacks. I mean, you hear your occasional stories that white women will tell about their husbands who are cops or, have a lot of power that try to use their power against them. You hear about that happening, but typically it's not going to happen over and over again for 13 years. You try the same thing over and over again, it always fails. You come back to try to do the same thing over and over again because you want to feel some sense of control. But the problem is that you have no control over self. That's the problem. And it's just weird. It really is. It's very, very weird. You're goofy. Your brain is literally upside down in your head. You ain't never made no fool out of me. Everybody that's been watching and peeping you out for the past 13 years knows exactly what your problem is, which is what I just said the last 13 damn minutes. Everybody knows what kind of power trip you on. You went and you heard me years ago mention BDSM. You went and researched it and said, yes, I am going to become a sadist and I am going to control. I am going to tie you up and and it's just like people know you're sick. Nobody thinks that you have good sense just because you surround yourself with enablers. People watching you know that you're sick. You are very, very sick. Anytime you attempt to do that, and any of the females, so y'all today, while I was busy with my client, I was on the phone with a client, and then also working on some stuff with the client, doing some meditation, some discovery, some things of that nature. I'm getting back to back unknown phone calls. We all know who those phone calls come from. Because if the phone calls were not coming from you, you would not be making videos saying the stuff that you're saying. You would be making videos saying, Jamila, I did not do that. You wouldn't be insulting anybody. You wouldn't be trying to assert your curses onto their kids. I don't even know what you've said. I have not watched that garbage and I will never play it. First of all, I can't find my headphones anywhere, and I'm not going to let my kids hear your garbage. You're not their father, and you'll never be their father. So you don't have no power over my kids or me. You're not my husband. I would never marry a man like that. And I remember a few weeks ago, I told him that. I said, well, I've never married you, so I don't have no ties with you. I don't have no ties with you. I've never married you. Me and you have never gotten married. Yes, we are considered to be married. No, we're not. To you, maybe, because you're a psychopath that wants to control somebody's every move. But in reality, we're not. I would never marry you, ever. Why would a woman marry a man that runs around with a bunch of perverted women, begging for sex tapes, and acting like a slave master, and hanging around with people that would call somebody's phone and actually be delusional enough to continuously, okay, when you say the words bow down to somebody, you're saying bow out. This is somebody that's coming after you, that is showing an interest in you, not a person that is walking away from you. So you, as the person that's running behind a person, you're the one that needs to bow down. So you're what are you doing? I'm gonna chase you and stalk you, even though I know that you want no association with me. You want nothing to do with me. I'm still gonna chase you and stalk you around, sit on a messenger, and in a private group talking about you all day, every day, looking sick and mentally fucking ill. And I'm gonna tell you to bow down. Who the fuck would do that? Who would ever do that? Nobody's ever gonna bow down to you. Most people, hey, let me tell you something. I'm willing to die, even though I don't have to. I'm just letting you know how intense that is. I'm willing to die to never be associated with you. That's why I stopped talking to you. You're on Messenger just all day, every day. Why is it that why is that until you start doing these attacks? Why don't I ever say anything about you? Either the attacks are people logging into this person's account that he gives access to his accounts, or either the attacks are coming through the internet online. And people are going to just have to accept that you're sick, or and the community is going to have to put you in your place, or they can rest assured that they need to look to their children. What if a man did this to your daughter? What if it was really a sick group of people that literally tried to enslave your child, mind, body, and spirit, sexually, trying to do some weird sexual thing? What if a man tried to force that upon your daughters? That's sick. So it's just weird. And then, especially a man that's too weak, that is weak to me. A man trying to control a woman, he's always weak. He's always weak. He's not a strong man. A man trying to, first of all, I'm not, first of all, I'm not the type of woman that needs to be controlled. I'm not running around brandishing knives and guns and shit. I'm not out sleeping around. I ain't even that type of person. So what are you trying to control? You're a nutcase. So it's just weird how this dude, like, all of the embarrassment of what you're doing is on you and your mama, straight up and fucking down. Don't, hey, nobody's gonna look at me weirdly or oddly because of it, because you are not the type of man that I would want to be with. First of all, I would never want to seriously be with a man that's associated with the black sector. No, thank you. That automatically disqualifies you from ever being somebody that I would actually take seriously. Never. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. Like, you would turn off out the gates. You would turn down off the gates. your instant friend zone, and not even really that, it would be a fake friend zone because I really don't like you. I really don't agree with you. And but but just to be cordial with you, no, I'm not gonna do that. Like, you know, and that stupid stuff, that whole consciousness in that black sector is the dumbest thing. It is literally the dumbest oxymoron that I've ever seen in my life, and everybody knows it's the truth. The crazy part about it is that the people that want association with that sector are stupid and dumb. And then the people that are actually in that sector, like, I'm somebody, I'm in this sector, they will have the audacity to diss and degrade and say that somebody's retarded or stupid that actually wants to be associated with that sector. But can't you see how retarded and stupid you are? And I've never had anything to do with that sector. That's why that sector don't do well. That's why this sector went broker than I ever could. Because I'm not involved. And what, they got like one or two or three donators? It's ridiculous. So they'll sit over there with this dude and they'll conjure, let's say, the spirit of famine or homelessness. And those spirits are very real. They'll conjure them, me and my family, but then those spirits will start to mess with them. So then they'll call me and try to share their reality with me. Well, I just ate a big fat ass juicy burger. I eat every single day. So this man is obsessed with what goes inside of my body. I'm about to eat me some lemon cookies and milk in a minute. I'm about to make an offering of milk to my wolves in Hades. And what are you going to do? Stop Hades? That's just like trying to fight with a bull. You ain't going to win. It's ridiculous. And you just keep doing it. What are you doing? I am obsessed with being your God. What about God of yourself? What about God of no, just specifically yours? No. The answer will always and forever be no. You're crazy. Go get some mental help. This is the reason why sometimes religion causes mental illness within people. Am I lying about what I'm saying? The shows, the live streams that he's been doing, all the live streams that he's done the past several years have proved everything that I've said about this person, because for years I ignored this person. I said this years ago, and literally has been doing the same thing. Literally has been doing the same thing. These are people with really severe mental illnesses and delusions of grandeur that need to be medicated. And I'm crazy. I'm the crazy one with the mental problem because I won't allow you to control me, and I won't accept you wishing death on my children. Hmm. Does that mean that a woman has a mental illness because she checked you about her children? Upside down face, upside down brain. And I'm supposed to be 48 years old and I'm supposed to say, you know what? You're right. How dare me? You mean to tell me that I actually love my kids? Yes, I should love a complete psychopath more than my kids. Yes, I should allow you to get away with saying and doing whatever it is that you want to do. What's next? You gonna try to go out on a date with Jacob? What's your issue? Gonna try to take him out on a daddy son date or something? I wouldn't let you be near my son for 1 second by yourself. You're weird. You're a weird weirdo. This is weird. And I've never seen anybody do this in history. I'm pretty sure that people have probably went through it with like their ex and maybe his family or whatever was sick and crazy. Hills have eyes, and even look like the damn hills have eyes, but looks ain't got nothing to do with it. If your ass was whatever you look like, no matter what you look like, no, and I'm not gonna accept that. Go away. I'd rather be alone, which I don't have to be. It's ridiculous. I'm gonna put a spell on somebody, and when I'm not even gonna mention the person's name, that whose voice that called me. That's why I don't like to call out these people's names anymore, because you're that irrelevant. You're that irrelevant. And now you're like, say my name. Say my name. What, are you afraid to say my name? And then that's when you can tell they're really desperate for you to literally say their name. And what is really crazy is, like, can you imagine if I was doing something like that behind the scenes and underhanded? People would automatically be like, this is crazy. That's crazy to me. So anyway, all that poison, all that venom, that's why I told y'all to stop watching them. Anybody normal that's on my side with this situation that don't like him, anybody that's normal that does not like him and what he does, don't even listen to him at all. Don't listen to none of them, because it's poison. My spirits have already said it. You're poisoning your own mind. You're poisoning your own lives. Because I don't listen. I ain't clicked on that boy's link not one time. And it's not that I'm scared. Come on, what are you scared? Come over here and listen to me talk delusionally. No, I'm not. No, that's a waste of time. Why would I listen to something that's not real, that doesn't apply to me, actually? Why would I listen to that? Some idiot telling me if you don't let me control you and treat you like a puppet, you're going to be homeless and die for the rest of your life. So I'm supposed to die. What am I going to die 1,000 times? Yeah, it's very weird. I've never seen somebody this crazy. But what I can tell you is that people that are usually that crazy probably have some kind of lesions or tumors or necrosis of the brain. Something is literally wrong with your brain. You need to go and get a CAT scan, hon. I can guarantee you that if you go and get a brain scan, they're going to capture abnormalities in your brain that probably you need treatment from a medical doctor. And to me, it seems like the early beginnings of some kind of stage one dementia or either brain cancer, one or the other. I would say more so dementia. So, and these stupid, crazy people watching it, they're just as delusional as you. So, anyway, what was I going to put on here? So, anyway. hmm y'all don't have no power either as a group or individually. There's no power that you will ever have against a person collectively or individually. You are a violator and you're going to eventually get what you got coming to you. Is the last thing I'm going to say. So I'm going to get off of here, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Okay. And it just, it's so silly. It's so silly because he doesn't stop anything. He really believes that right now, what he's doing is going to stop me from leaving Georgia, which is pathetic. And he got that old woman trying to help him. She's going to end up getting what she deserves because you don't help no man abuse no woman, you disgusting idiot. You are disgusting. And I hope the goddess destroys you. That's a fact. Any woman helping a man abuse another woman or try to subjugate her, you are a pathetic imbecile. This is not no game, and that woman is not playing with you. And basically, what you need to do is get off of YouTube and quit worrying anybody with this mess and go see a therapist. Go see a therapist, and everybody in your life around you is a complete and total failure as well, because they just sit around and watch you do it. They're just as sick as you. I mean, ask yourself this question: you gave somebody a couple of $1,000. Is that the price of a human life? So you own that person the rest of their lives? No, you don't. And somebody was saying that giving somebody money does not mean that you own them or you can tell them where they can go or where they can be. Bye. And no, I'm not paying you back because I already know that's what you said over and over again, repeating stuff repetitively. I'm not paying you back. You owe me more, and you're lucky that I have not sued you in a court of law for everything that you've done. Literally, with the revenge porn alone, I could sue you for hundreds of thousands of, well, whatever the cap, whatever the maximum is in civil court. Now that's reality. That goes beyond your fantasy. Okay. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all later. Bye.